is, I feel like we have this culture of avoidance, right?
And he starts beating her like a guy. This is somebody that I called a friend.
And you're witnessing this.
I have to peel him off her. Like,
I'm not sorry because this is the side that you guys don't see.
Rights in Somalia, have they decreased or increased throughout the years? From the time that he's talking about where there was afros and jeans and, you know, everybody was very lax and the Italian government had their hand in Mogadishu. Has it changed? Has it increased or decreased?
I would say it decreased. Because before, I mean, like, they say, like, parents say, like, oh, before Din Talaoga or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they dressed how they wanted to. They did, like, you would see videos of, like, them partying together and having fun. But now it's more like Din Tawe Barten, but they took it to a certain extreme. Where now it's like women, like, need to be escorted by a man if you're walking down the street at night. Or, you know, they definitely twisted the Din kind of in a way where it kind of suits their lifestyle. I don't know, but it's definitely more like decreased, I would say.
In women's rights. Is that, and I'm Soda. What? Soda. Oh my God. Why did
you almost had it.
I'm just going to call you Soda.
That's fine.
That's actually your name, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to stop. I actually stopped for a second. I was like, don't mess it up. But I did. Going back to conservative. So do you feel like, why is it that if you go to Somalia now, you see a lot more jilbabs and you see a lot more niqabs, right? But because that's they'll say that it's the religion. Now it's a religion to wear the hijab, but it's somebody's choice that they want to wear a jilbab. It's up to you. You can wear a jilbab, a niqab, and a abaya, socks, gloves, do whatever you want. Wear a tent all you want. Yeah. You're covering up. That being said, why is it that they're not taking the other side of the religion, which is women's rights, right? A mother has haqq. How much haqq does she have over your father? Three times, right? So why are we not taking the other half of it, which is women are supposed to be up here. In our deen, women are respected. Women have value. Women have worth. But when it comes to women's rights like domestic violence and rape culture or sexual assault or any of that stuff, it's decreased.
I think it's because we take from our culture and we take from our religion and then we form something. I don't even know what to call it anymore. Whereas with our culture, honestly, I'm not saying there is good and bad that comes with culture, but it's like domestic violence is okay. It's not okay, but it's not like looked down upon in the Somali community. A lot of men beat on their wives and you put it under the rug or like, you know, it's not like something that's, hey, that's completely wrong. It's more of like, don't do it again, you know? So I feel like they just form this kind of system where they pick and choose where when it comes to like when you were saying like women being valued and being put on a pedestal, right. I feel like women aren't put on a pedestal in our culture. So it's like it is written in the deen, but people don't want to use it because so a lot of people have a problem differentiating deen and culture. And I feel like that's our biggest issue. Yeah.
Is domestic violence a problem in our community, Sago?
100%.
Is it?
Like,
because I can't, and the reason why I say is it, because again, I came, and this is my own experience, right? I thought the mommies ran the household. Like what mommy says, mommy goes, then why, like is there domestic violence?
But also you have to take into consideration what the definition of running a household is. When we think about that, the mom does all of the housework. She does all of the chores. She's the one who's taking care of the children. She's like the head of the household in the most arbitrary way.
So
do you know what I mean?
It's like more being relied on rather than...
she's being relied on. Okay. Oh, like you don't go and ask your dad, where did I put my keys? Where did I put my ID? No, your mom knows. You ask your mom for everything. Oh, what'd you cook? Oh, why is the house dirty? Yeah. You know, it's like... And the thing is, I feel like in the Somali culture also, a lot of kids are more easily disrespecting their mothers than their fathers too. So it's just like, what does it really mean to run a household? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So domestic violence is happening in our community.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it happens, and the thing is, I don't want to just scapegoat and like pigeonhole like our community. It happens in so many communities.
I understand.
Especially like people of color and, you know, especially with the whole immigration thing, like it happens to everyone. Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like we have this culture of avoidance, right? If it's not convenient for us to talk about, let's not talk about it.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So rape, sexual assault, female genital mutilation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's just not talk about it. Let's like put it under the rug because it's easier for us. We get to ignore and control the issue,
Of
right?
course.
But when you have these mothers and these women kind of popping up and talking about their experiences and being able to empower themselves, you know, believe it or not, it does make both Somali men and women feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Bila, I'm going to come to you for a second, but I want to run off that for a quick second. When you say hishod, right? Hishod is like shameful, like
to have
like,
shame.
Yeah, to have shame, right?
Yeah.
So is that one of the reasons why we don't tell the police? Like, I'm going to ask you too. Like, is it the reason why we don't tell the police because that equals people knowing? If I tell the police, then it's out there. Therefore, my neighbor will know, my aunt and such and such. Is that how it translates?
I think just in our culture, we're just used to not dealing with the law because it was just like we would have the older people. That's the people we would go to for the issues, and they would settle all the problems in the home, and that would be that. And I just feel like that's just what they're used to and how they want to deal with the situation. That's why they don't go to the law. And one thing is like, so many people will come at each other any which way possible, but as soon as someone that's not us comes in between, it's like, whoa, we're one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another.
Yeah, and I learned that in high school. If two Somali people were beefing, and we looked like animals. We were just beefing each other. But the day an Arab or a Pakistani or an Adam person came and beefed a Somali, a man or a girl, or a boy or a girl, we all teamed up on them. And then that person would be like, but you guys were fighting each other yesterday. Yeah, but that's our business.
Yeah.
Right?
Stay out of it.
And that's exactly what happens in Somalia too. If the Americans come, Black Hawk down. We take care of that. But then we fight each other. As soon as the whatever that foreign person is or that foreign element leaves, then we fight each other. Yeah. Right, and so I learned that too. Bueller, as a man, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
All right.
Domestic violence.
Yeah.
I've never witnessed it. Alhamdulillah. But as a man, have you ever witnessed it? First of all.
Yeah, a lot more than I like to have seen.
Okay. Would you indulge? I don't want to get into your private life, but
without giving details into characters and whatnot.
Yeah.
I've seen some shit like. And it's a man and a guy and his girl get into it. It's words, they're yelling, and it's getting a little more. And he starts beating her like a guy. This is somebody that I called a friend.
And you're witnessing this.
I have to peel him off her. Like, it's fucking taking all of my might to take him off her. Because he's beating her like he never met her a day in his life.
Wow.
And I was shocked. But there was other guys there. Mm-hmm. So the whole apathy of the other guys, I think, is... that's not my sister. I don't care. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing about guys that they will never stop because that's not my sister. I don't give a shit. But if they see that happening, they're not going to stop it. You know what I mean? So, that's
Is it normalized though? Is it normalized? Is that why they didn't stop it? Because you would think that, and I'm going to bring up another point about that, but you would think that it would be like a, how do I say this? Like, if we all walked in the street today and you saw a Hoyo, a Habayar, an Edo, whatever, somebody that is like your mama, looks like your mama, dresses like your mama, that's basically, we've seen your auntie, right? Another Somali woman, a little older. Mm-hmm. If you saw somebody yelling at her or attacking her, whatever the sort, right away.
It's on.
Right away. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, if you're young, you're everybody would just be like, whoop. It's going down.
Yeah.
Why didn't that happen within that group of men? Why wasn't a shock to them?
It's because they probably participate in that too. I can't say it for 100% because I didn't see most of them, but usually that's the case. And then afterward, you'll hear shit like, and I'll get into an argument. Like, what's wrong with you guys? At least help me out. They're at the point of anger where it's like, this can turn bad. You know what I mean? It's real. It's already bad. Not to say that it's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, real physical harm can happen. You know what I mean? So you get this answer of, whatever, it's not my sister. And then later on, they're like, maybe you should have toned it down a little. But, she kind of had it coming. And then I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not, I hate to say it, I swear it, from people I know, it's more leaning towards the majority than the minority. Mm-hmm. Almost maybe 50 down the line. Mm-hmm. But like, in high school, you never thought that would be a thing. But once you get to like 19, 20 and above, and people start dating, it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
And it's usually private for quite some time until one day, you know what I'm saying, the hishod is gone. They don't even respect you enough to do that behind closed doors. Now it's in front of everybody. Yeah. Not to say that it's right behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But then, it's pretty normal.
Yeah. To go off of what he said, like, I think that's an issue just general with men. Like, women exist outside of the parameters of just your mom, your sister, your daughter. And I feel like that's when men only care. Like, they'll be like, oh, well, if this happened to my mom, it would never happen to my mom. It would never happen to my sister because I'm here. And it's like, no, you should just be offended that it's happening because she's a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, we exist outside of your radius. And I don't think men really realize that. And it's just like, and I feel like the reason they don't realize that is because we're looked at more as objects than human beings.
Have you noticed that it kind of starts at an earlier age too within our culture? And I don't know if you heard of this, and I'll go to you, Selga. Have you ever seen somebody where their brother beats them? Like you come home late, or the culture of older brother.
That's where it starts.
Yeah,
that's where it starts.
Older brother, and I've seen this happen to friends of mine where it was like, I gotta go home. My brother's gonna whip my ass, and I was like, what? You mean your daddy, right? Like, because if somebody's gonna punish you or discipline you, it'd be your dad. Yeah. I'm like, no, my brother, my older brother he's gonna whoop my butt.
That's where it starts, and then it evolves into, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like practice in a way of that culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna
but going off that.
Yeah.
Is that not partly the mother's fault?
No.
What do you mean by that?
As in, like, letting...
She's allowing it?
Yeah, allowing
I think that's the dad's
her
fault.
son not do any work, not do any chores, and still talk to his younger sister that way, or his older sister that way.
I gotta disagree, man. That's not mom's fault.
It's like a cultural thing.
I don't blame mom for that one.
Why not?
Because that's dad's fault. Dad's supposed to tell.
That's not even half there, though.
But even if they are, let's say they are, for argument's sake, just to make this situation plausible. If dad's there and that's happening, that is 100% dad's fault. That guy's supposed to lay down the ground rules from the get down. That's forbidden. He's supposed to make that clear.
Yeah.
He should beat the shit out of the kid for doing that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So, having said that, but then if single parent home, that's another one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And going back to that, it from, again, my experience, it seemed like because there was not a father in the household, the brother was a substitute, right? So the brother became a discipline, and the brother is only a young man. He's not a father. He's not a man, right? And so this young child that's disciplining this other young child doesn't know how to discipline her. So he's going to give her 2 black eyes. Did I do the job? Is she good? Did she come home late again? No, that I did a good job. Right? No one's going to become a hoe on my watch, right? And it seems like that it's that culture. It keeps going over and over and over. Going back, so now that we're into this conversation of missing fathers, we've talked about this 100 times. And during this, in December, there's been a lot of videos that have surfaced, and there's a lot of reaction videos. And the original video was made by a young lady named Rhoda.
Hello guys. Sorry, maxaa la dhahaa bateriga dhamaaday dame maan dhihi jiray and wallahi I'm sorry haddii mataqaanaa I emotional aan noqday, and but I actually I'm not sorry because this is the side that you guys don't see. This is the side that, you know, hooyo kasta gabar kasta niga qariso. Everybody sees when you're put together, and I'm tired of that society.